Good morning once again, sports fans. It's the Go Live. It's the Turn on the Mic edition of the USA Wager Sports Brief with Rodney Knuppel. I am your host, Rodney Knuppel. We are ready to rock and roll. Thanks for the comment that you couldn't quite hear me last time. Hopefully, you can hear me this time. If you can, please send another comment so we know that I'm listening. Let's get started with the Hump Day version of the USA Wager Sports Brief. All right, let's get right to it. Before we do get started, though, I want to remind you the Sports 2.0 network. I am on tonight, 9 p.m. Central Time. It's the Get Your Kids to Bed version of sports talk with my buddy. We go way back, Tim Van Straten. He's going to join me tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time as we put the kids to bed and we talk a little sports. Who knows? Who knows what'll come up tonight? But that's going to be 9 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you smash the like buttons and you follow along and all the good things that you hear, all the shows that you listen to. We don't have to repeat them, but we do anyway. And hopefully you do those things and listen 9 p.m. tonight. All right, let's get started. Let's start right away with the National Basketball Association. LeBron James and Anthony Davis evened up the series last night. The big two for the Lakers were very good. They combined with 57 points, 14 rebounds, 16 assists. And Chris Paul was not real good for the Suns. Just 22 minutes, 6 points. He needs to be better. I know the Suns are the 2 seed, and they are, quote unquote, the favorite in this series as the 2 seed, but Chris Paul must be better for the Suns to beat the Lakers. If not, the defending champs will move on, in my opinion. Game 3 is on Friday, as it moves to Los Angeles for Game 3. Lakers and Suns. Lakers 7-point winners last night. The first game last night, Joe Harris was absolutely on fire for the Nets, and if the fourth guy gets rolling for the Nets, it's look out, folks. 14 more wins for the Brooklyn Nets before they could become NBA champions. He was 7 for 10 from beyond the arc. He helped out the big three of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden as they combined for 61, but the story was Joe Harris. And so those four guys at 86, but they scored 130 points. Boston couldn't guard the ball rack. And now the Celtics are in a 2-0 hole. Jason Tatum just with 9 points last night. Just like Chris Paul, Jason Tatum's going to have to be a lot better if they want a chance in that one. That series now shifts to Boston Friday for Game 3. In the final game last night, Luka Doncic continues to stomp, smack, and beat down the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers choking in the playoffs once again. What's new? Luka, 39, 7-7. Tim Hardaway Jr. had a big night as well. I believe 28 points. Kawhi Leonard put up 41 for the Clip, but not enough. Clippers lost both games at home there in the Staples Center. Game 3 moves to the Big D on Friday. Game 3, Dallas leads that series 2-0. So 2 series, 2-0, and the other one 1-1 last night in the NBA. A 3-pack tonight of NBA. It's Washington +8 at Philly. I like Philly to cover that. It is Atlanta at the Knicks. The Knicks are at home at the Garden. I think the Knicks come back and win this game. The Hawks are +2 tonight. Hawks won Game 1. Knicks trying to even up the series. I like the Knicks at home, and I'll stick with the trend of home teams. I think Donovan Mitchell plays tonight. Of course, that could change throughout the day. I like Utah -9 tonight. I think Utah blows out Memphis. It's just one of those they get back. They show they are the top seed. Not guaranteeing that that Utah will win this series. But I think Utah wins tonight. They get back on track and even up that series. So that's a look at the NBA. Again, this is a hump day version of the USA Wager Sports Brief with your host, Rodney Knuppel. Let's move on to the ice as we are down to 5 first-round games remaining. The Avalanche, the Jets, and the Bruins are in the second round. Last night, Toronto blasted Montreal 4-0. Jack Campbell with a shutout on 32 saves, and Toronto will look to wrap up that series tomorrow as they take on Montreal. Montreal won Game 1. Toronto has dominated since then. So look for more dominance. I think Toronto finishes that on Thursday, but more about that game tomorrow. And then the other game last night, the third straight game that these two teams have went to overtime. Really good series here in the Central between the top seeded Carolina and the fourth seeded Nashville Predators. Carolina came away with the home win last night, 3-2 in overtime. They'll move to Nashville for game 6. We'll pick that game tomorrow, but I'll probably stick with the home team and look for that series to go 7. It is Eric Stahl came away with the unassisted goal last night in overtime for Carolina. So that is now 3-2 Hurricanes in that series. And then tonight we've got 3 more games on ice. Pittsburgh is at the Islanders. Pittsburgh trails in that series 3-2. I still think the Penguins will come back and win this series, so I'll take the Penguins tonight. They're even money at the Islanders. It is Florida at Tampa Bay, probably my favorite series so far. I don't know, Carolina's been a good series, but Florida at Tampa Bay. The defending champions are at home. They're minus 150. Florida, of course, was the little bit better team in the regular season. I think Tampa Bay closes them out tonight. I'll take the Lightning at home. And then Vegas is at Minnesota tonight. Vegas leads that series 3-2, but Minnesota stayed alive on the road in game 5. Now we move to game 6. Going to be an interesting one. I think Vegas does put them away on the road. Of course, Vegas would take on Colorado in the second round. I'll take Vegas tonight as a minus 135 favorite on the road. And that is a look at the National Hockey League for Wednesday. Let's move to Major League Baseball. Chicago White Sox picked up a win. Lucas Giolito topped Jack Flaherty, and that makes Jack Flaherty 8-1. Cardinals continue to scuffle a little bit, have now lost 4 out of 5 against Chicago teams after losing 2 of 3 over the weekend to the Cubs. They look to bounce back today. We'll talk about that here in just a bit. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Chicago Cubs picked up a win. They're now just a half game back of the Cardinals in the National League Central. That's obviously a competitive division. If you want to talk about competitive divisions, let's talk about the National League West, where the Dodgers stayed hot. They won 8 in a row, but still haven't caught the San Diego Padres. Still just a game back of the Padres. The Dodgers beat the Astros 9-2. Houston has now lost 4 straight. Clayton Kershaw, 7 2/3 of an innings pitched last night. And if you're the Astros, you got Kershaw, and now you got to face Trevor Bauer tonight. I want to talk more about that game here in a minute. The Giants, as Tanner Kern mentioned earlier, the Giants, the Padres, many people didn't think that they could beat Corbin Burns, and I think he said they shoved them. I love that term. They shoved them. The Padres shoved the Brewers 7-1 last night. And those are kind of look at the National League West games as, to me, frankly, that's the most exciting division in baseball right now. Dodgers, Giants, Padres all picked up wins. I didn't even mention Giants in their 8-0 win over Arizona. So real quick, those headlines: Cubs stay hot. Dodgers win their 8th straight. Kevin Gausman wins again. He's now 5-0. And the Daddies, the San Diego Padres, smack the Milwaukee Brewers. All right, getting to today's games this afternoon, Cardinals, White Sox. Carlos Rodon, one of the AL leaders in earned run average, will pitch for the Sox as they look to sweep the Cardinals on the south side. That's a 110 Central game. Sox are huge favorites against John Gant. Don't call me Ron. John Gant for the Cardinals. The Dodgers are minus 140 with Trevor Bauer on the mound against the Astros. That's going to be a wild one. Trevor Bauer's got something up his sleeve. He's going to have some new cleats. What's he going to have on him? Trash cans. Who knows what'll happen. Trevor Bauer has made it very known that he is not in favor of what Houston did with the trash cans. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. Dodgers in Houston. And then Chris Paddock goes to the Padres as they take on the Brewers. That'll be a little bit later tonight. Padres, Brewers, and that's kind of a rundown of probably my favorite games in Major League Baseball today. It's boring if I go over all of them. I'm not going to go over all of them, just kind of headlining the ones I am most interested in. All right, we're about ready to wrap up the show, the USA Wager Sports Brief with Rodney Knuppel. But before I do so, don't forget a couple things. Number one, after me today, Ryan will have the USA Wager Show. He gives you all the best industry news. His time's kind of been floating around. I know he's looking at trying to solidify his time. It's hard to know when the news is going to actually happen. in the industry. A little slow here recently, but I know he's got a few things up his sleeves that he wants to talk about. And then tonight, 9 p.m. Central Time, again, my buddy Tim Van Stratton is going to join me. We cannot wait for tonight's show. We got a few rules to go over with you on the show, and we will be with you. Get the kids to bed version of the Sports 2.0 network. All right. Once again, this is USA Wager Daily Sports Brief. I keep saying that wrong. The USA Wager Sports Brief. Rodney Knuppel. I am your host every day, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Time to get off here. So long for just a while. Thanks for tuning in. Do all those smashings of the like buttons. Follow all along. This is USA Wager.